In this video, I'm explaining the 3-3-3 rule for cats and why it can completely change your first few weeks as a new cat owner. When you bring a new cat home, it's exciting. You've probably bought the toys, the litter box, the food bowls, maybe even picked out the perfect name. But then you get home and your cat hides. They don't eat much. They won't come near you. Maybe they hiss. Maybe they won't come out from under the bed at all. And a lot of new owners think, did I make a mistake? Does my cat hate me? This is where the 3-3-3 rule comes in. The 3-3-3 rule is a simple guideline that explains how most cats adjust to a new home in 3 phases. 3 days to decompress. 3 weeks to start learning your routine. 3 months to fully feel at home. It's not an exact science. Every cat is different. But for most new cat owners, this framework can completely reset your expectations and prevent a lot of unnecessary stress. So let's break down what actually happens in each stage and what you should be doing during each one. The first 3 days are all about decompression. Think about it like this. Imagine someone picked you up, put you in a box, drove you somewhere unfamiliar, and then dropped you into a completely new house with new smells, new sounds, and a giant creature staring at you. You wouldn't relax right away either. That's exactly what your cat is experiencing. During these first 3 days, most cats are in survival mode. They might hide under the bed or couch, avoid eye contact, eat very little, use the litter box only when you're not around, seem distant or even defensive. And this is completely normal. Your cat isn't being rude. They aren't ungrateful. They aren't rejecting you. They're overwhelmed. Cats are territorial animals. Their sense of safety comes from familiarity. Right now, nothing feels familiar. So during these first 3 days, your job isn't to bond. It's not to force affection. It's not to introduce them to every room. Your job is to create safety. That means give them a small, quiet space if possible. Keep their food, water, and litter box easily accessible. Move slowly. Let them come to you. This stage is about patience. The more you try to force interaction, the longer this phase can last. The calmer you are, the faster they adjust. After those first few days, most cats slowly start entering the second phase, learning your routine. This is usually when owners start noticing little signs of progress. Maybe your cat finally comes out while you're in a room. Maybe they start eating more consistently. Maybe they watch you from across the room instead of hiding. These small moments are actually huge. At this point, your cat is starting to realize something important. Okay, maybe this place is safe. Cats thrive on predictability. The more predictable your home feels, the more comfortable they become. That's why routines matter so much during these first few weeks. Try feeding them around the same time every day. Keep their litter box in the same place. Avoid constantly changing their environment. And most importantly, let trust build naturally. A lot of new cat owners accidentally slow down the bonding process because they try too hard. They pick the cat up constantly. They force cuddles. They invite tons of people over to meet the new pet. But trust with cats is usually earned quietly. One of the best things you can do during this stage is simply exist near them. Sit on the floor while scrolling your phone. Read a book nearby. Let them observe you without pressure. Eventually, curiosity starts to take over. This is also the phase where your cat's real personality starts showing up. You may suddenly discover they're super playful, incredibly vocal, or weirdly obsessed with attacking your feet at 2 a.m. And if your cat still seems shy after a couple weeks, don't panic. Some cats adjust quickly. Others take much longer, especially rescue cats or cats that came from stressful environments. Progress with cats is rarely linear. One day they'll sit next to you, and the next day they'll disappear under the couch again like you offended them personally. That's normal too. By the time you reach the 3-month mark, most cats finally start feeling like your home is their home. This is usually when their full personality becomes much more obvious. The shy cat that hid for weeks might suddenly become extremely affectionate. The quiet cat may turn into a tiny alarm clock every morning at 5 a.m. And the independent cat who ignored you at first might suddenly decide your keyboard is now their bed. At this stage, your cat has usually learned your daily routine, where they feel safe, what sounds are normal, who lives in the house, and whether they can trust you. This trust is what changes everything. You'll probably notice more relaxed body language, more exploration, and more confidence overall. Some cats begin sleeping out in the open instead of hiding. Others start following their owners from room to room. And this is important. The goal isn't to turn every cat into a super cuddly lap cat. Some cats are naturally more social than others. The real goal is helping your cat feel safe, secure, and comfortable being themselves. That's what successful adjustment actually looks like. This is also the stage where behavioral issues often improve. Things like hiding, excessive meowing, stress scratching, or skipping meals can calm down significantly once a cat feels stable in their environment. But even after 3 months, adjustment can still continue. Older cats, rescue cats, or cats with traumatic backgrounds may take longer. The 3-3-3 rule isn't a countdown timer. It's just a helpful framework to remind you that trust takes time. And honestly, one of the biggest mistakes new cat owners make is expecting instant affection from an animal that survives by being cautious. For cats, trust is earned slowly. But once they finally feel safe with you, the bond becomes incredibly rewarding. Now that you understand the 3-3-3 rule, let's talk about some of the biggest mistakes new cat owners make during this adjustment period. The first mistake is forcing interaction too early. I get it, you're excited. You want your cat to love you immediately. But constantly picking them up, chasing them around the house, or pulling them out of hiding spots usually does the opposite. For a nervous cat, control equals safety. When they lose that control, trust becomes harder to build. Another common mistake is giving them too much space too fast. Some people bring a new cat home and immediately let them roam the entire house. But for many cats, a huge, unfamiliar environment is overwhelming. Starting with one quiet room and slowly expanding their territory is usually much less stressful. Another big one, changing food too quickly. Cats can already experience stress-related stomach issues during adjustment. Suddenly switching foods on top of that can make things worse. If possible, start with the food they're already used to and transition gradually. And then there's punishment. If your cat hisses, hides, scratches something, or acts fearful, don't punish them. Fear-based behavior isn't your cat being bad. It's communication. Punishment usually creates more anxiety, which can slow down bonding even more. Instead, focus on making the environment feel predictable and safe. Another mistake people make is expecting every cat to adjust at the same speed. Social media sometimes makes it seem like every adopted cat instantly cuddles with their new owner on day one. Reality is usually slower than that. Some cats bond quickly. Others need weeks or months before they fully relax. That doesn't mean you're failing. Patience is a huge part of cat ownership.
So if you just brought home a new cat and things feel awkward right now, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. The 3-3-3 rule exists because adjustment takes time. The first 3 days are about survival and decompression. The first 3 weeks are about learning routines and building trust. And the first 3 months are when most cats finally start feeling truly at home. The biggest thing to remember is this. Don't judge your relationship with your cat based on the first few days. Some of the most affectionate, social cats start out hiding under a bed refusing to come out. What matters most is consistency, patience, and giving your cat the space to feel safe. Because once a cat decides they trust you, the relationship changes completely. And for most cat owners, that process is absolutely worth the wait.
If this video helped you understand your cat a little better, subscribe for more practical cat advice and beginner-friendly guides just like this.